Yes, yes, yes. I am indeed alive, and sounds that I make to check whether or not my throat is, but hey, I think we typically know how that's gonna go. Why is the metadata for this non-existent? Or does it only say Night Psycho? It's supposed to have its own metadata. Hold on. It says right here. Well, hold on. Does it say right here? Night Psycho by, I assume Vladimir Simonek. I guess I don't know the... I guess I can just put it there from Mafia. Okay, I guess if any part of that is missing, then it doesn't actually show up on the thing. But hey, I made it show up, so that's resolved. What's not resolved, however, is my tendencies, my complete inability to, you know, stream and do it well, I suppose. Well, I would crank up this song because it's kind of quiet comparison to pretty much everything else that I have going on right now, but I'm sure it's, you know, for that very same reason, it's like crank it up, then whatever ends up playing next to it, which I can tell what it's gonna be because this whole thing is shuffled. It's gonna be like 10 times louder, and it's just gonna make me, well, wish that my eardrums hadn't blown out, because that's what it's going to do to me. It's gonna make me wish that I hadn't done that, so I will not do it to begin with. So, in fact, I will simply stop it and skip a couple of things forward, a couple of songs forward. Oh, hey, this title screen that I actually haven't seen before. It's on the hot spring. That's interesting. Wonder if that's gonna be as interesting as the main purpose of me doing a stream of this today and at this time, though. But, you know, unlike some of the other things that I've been discussing, i.e. the only other thing that I've been discussing pretty much, which is the freaking volume. I believe this is something that can only be discovered by doing as opposed to predictive thing. I don't know why I, you know, see the feeling to just pad out stuff like that. I suppose I just do, because what else am I gonna do? I guess something else that I'm able to do though is just, hey, login bonus. I thought I had already gotten the one for today, but I guess not. I guess I was already doing something else by that time. Yeah. There's actually 2 trap tools and... Ooh. Still a variant print, King Armor Sphere does Life and Shock Trap and Pitfall Trap. It's not actually active yet though, is it? Apparently at Tokyo and Osaka. Okay, I guess it's not... I thought it was gonna be like the big festival that's Iceborne specific that's gonna be active apparently this Friday, but yeah, it's definitely not Friday yet, so I was a little confused yet. I can check the event schedule. He'll probably come up there. Check the master rank stuff. It doesn't let me, well, it doesn't let me see anything that isn't active yet. It only says stuff that is active and when it's gonna expire. Apparently the challenge quest where you fight regular Toby and Viper Toby is, you can, like, today's your last chance to do that, and I mean, challenge quests are like whatever. I don't enjoy them. But something that I should probably do, like, every single time that I have to stream this game, or that I have to do every single time I stream this game, that is the intended order of those words that I meant for them to be in, and I guess I have to train myself to do it like that, because again, you know, the other thing that I've been doing all day before right now is just working on a style correction job that somebody gave me. So honestly, it should, my brain should be on this thing more. This kind of thing where I, you know, say words in the correct orders in a way that promotes stuff being understandable, but apparently I'm not quite so good at that. But anyway, yes. By anyway, yes, I mean that I'm pretty sure that literally right after I logged in, after the previous time that I stopped streaming this game, I got yet another quest that you can get, or another sort of notification that you can get from the field team leader that tells you, hey, there's a new fucking monster in the Guiding Lands, so go kill it.
We're
Actually, I have no idea how this is gonna go, but I have no idea whether I should go for a hammer or dual blades, because I've been doing a few hunts with the hammer, and it really has turned out to be quite viable so far. Like, I think it's actually a little bit more efficient than the dual blades as far as how quickly it kills things so far. Then again, I have no idea what Yian Garuga is gonna be weak against. But I do have the quest to hunt it, so we'll just get right into it. Turn of the Crazy One. So pretty sure that Yian Garuga is one of these monsters that's from much earlier in the Monster Hunter series, which I am not intimately familiar with, so... I notice these monsters will pick a fight with just about anything. Also says be careful around its supersonic roars. Well, I do have immunity to regular roars, but... We'll see if that actually gives me any kind of an edge, shall we? Okay, so I think I'm actually gonna be playing it a little bit not so much safe. I'm gonna be taking something of a chance, actually, rather than... Well, first we're gonna get this fucking... I'm gonna pet the Poogie so that he gets out of the way, because I don't want to... Poogie right now, I want to look at the item box, and... I've been able to build terribly many high-grade hammers so far, so I think we're gonna be using the... yeah, this one. The explosive one, which is... I'm pretty sure the highest rarity one that I have right now, it's rarity 11. The explosive Brachinius hammer, and much like with pretty much all of the other monsters that I fought for the first time, and I have no idea what to expect. I'll go with the ever-trusty combo of the Vitality Mantle and the Temporal Mantle. And I ensure that I have the Defense Charm equipped, because I'm pretty sure I did it off screen, but I did manage to upgrade that to maximum, and with the... actually have the Defense boost skill at maximum with some of the additional gear that I've been equipping, namely the legs that I have right now. Those are the Sharish Valda legs. Now I do have a pretty crazy defense boost, but to be perfectly honest, I have no idea how much of a difference that actually makes, because I've done a couple of quests recently where I have that defense charm unequipped and in favor of something else, and it doesn't really seem to be like that huge of a difference, but... Well, we'll see. It's pretty much what I've had on for pretty much all of the other plot quests in this so far, so... Clearly I have no reason to doubt that. I keep looking at the box here for no particular reason, though. Just making sure I have a max potion. Do I want anything else that would potentially... I guess maybe I'll leave a few of these dung pods. I don't know if it's really going to be an issue for me in the guiding lens, but... Well, you never know. Let's just actually get into it now. Yian Garuga. Did you know that there's like... one or two more monsters, I think 3 monsters that I can think of off the top that have been introduced in Iceborne, but only in the console version, and they haven't made it to PC yet, because, you know, Capcom is super inconsistent with those releases, but pretty sure there's a couple other monsters that are supposed to be in Iceborne that aren't listed in like the update schedule for this game with PC and console, so I have to assume that they're in the initial release of Iceborne, which means that they should be, you know, in this version of the game right now. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty certain that they're gonna be here in the guiding lands. Doesn't really make sense for them to be anywhere else. So can I check my like the region levels for the guiding lands on my map right now? Notice that we don't have the Yian Garuga on the map or trackable. But we can try to track the Kuluya or Chichiyaku and also the Devil Joe that are apparently on the map, on the field at the same time. I'm not particularly excited about the Devil Joe being here, but I'm sure it'll be fun. Could possibly go wrong. I mean, you see that tongue-in-cheek now, but I'm pretty sure the last hunt I did off-screen before I did this, which was, you know, this morning, I'm pretty sure. sometime. I was trying to hunt a tempered Anjanath just to see if I could get any different, like, tempered monster rewards from just a normal, like, low tier monster in master rank. And spoiler alert, I didn't. I just got a bunch of decos. But had like 5 of those purple rewards available, or 5 or 6, which was pretty good, but it also meant that I couldn't faint at all during that investigation. And I mean, Anjanath isn't too crazy of a threat by itself, but then freaking Ebony Odogaron decided to butt into the fight, and things got a little uncertain, but no, I did end up to break away from that. It's on to the present, I suppose. I have no idea what to expect and what to nitpick regarding this monster's relation to how it probably was from earlier in the series. Oh, there's a Devil Joe, I guess. Wasn't actually gonna show up in the field before this cutscene could be, like, subverted. That's why it said it was somewhere in the field, the map did. They're just gonna stare at each other menacingly, I guess. I mean, they can apparently climb quite well if what we've seen of it so far is any indication. And yeah, there's this. Honestly, Yian Garuga looks so skinny that Devil Joe really looks like that has the advantage there. So, how's fucking Logan Monster gonna get the edge? Where the Devil Joe now? I guess just shrugged off that turf war. Boy, do I just have to... Oh shit, hold on. I just realized I didn't focus on the game window for right now, but... Now I am. Right, so Devil Joe did just go away. It's time for me to pick a fight here. Hold on. Gotta remember what the fucking controls are. It's hold R and press... R2 and press circle, I guess, in this case. See, it has fucking... Rathalos or Rathian type spitting out fire, which is a little surprising. And this tells me that I actually have no idea how effective my explosive weapon is gonna be, but... I think I don't even know if I've used this against any freaking flying weapons so far, other than maybe... Paldumo, but I think I did hunt like a Nightshade Paldumo with this. But I will figure something out, I'm sure. I do have a bunch of extra skills that should complement my hammer as a weapon, like what just freaking trading materials that the cat is getting. Like the part breakers thing, and also the one that helps you stun the monsters. It's called Slugger, I think. I wonder if how well they're gonna serve me during this particular hunt. Seeing a bit of a pattern with its Rathian type. Tail swings. Only that it loves to do them. To be perfectly honest, I'm pretty sure I didn't expect this dude to be able to spit fire like a Wrath type monster, but... So far its moveset really just seems to be kind of a variation on the Rathian, Rathalos type monsters. Except for stuff like that, sprinkled in there. Well, apparently it can poison you too, just like her. Oh, I didn't know that. Hold on, let's try to find something that we can use to remove the poison, I guess. That's a flow fern. These are flow ferns. These are not useful for what I'm looking for right now. Hold on. I don't want the water bottle, obviously. Just to get them out of the way, if anything. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to reconsider my loadout just a little bit. Probably. Reconsider my loadout and also search very, very zealously and desperately for some antidote herbs that I can grab, but yes, right now my one and only concern is running away from that fight. Apparently I'm still being registered as being in combat, which is kind of crazy. Alright, here we go. No longer am I in combat, however, if I keep going in this direction. It's usually like a bone pile in between these two things, I've noticed, because I've done a few extra expeditions to this place. I don't even know if like any of the bone piles or the ore deposits are gonna show up during, actual quests here, because I actually I'm not even sure if I expected actual quests to be issued in this locale. Wonder if there's gonna be more like investigations and junk that we can do here after the fact. But let's see. Maybe I'll switch this hammer out for one of the other ones that I have, which I don't know, what would it be? I guess maybe the water one. Or maybe the paralysis one. This could be an interesting experiment. Does that one have decorations? I wonder, decoration slots. If so, then I'm pretty sure there's nothing in them, but hey. We're gonna have to roll with the punches here. Pretty sure I'm not gonna have you. I don't have full tracking on the Yian Garuga, so let's see if we can dupe it into leaving a few more tracks for us and get that sweet, sweet research level. Where is it? I found it. Apparently it hasn't left any more tracks yet. I don't know if it's gonna be particularly weak against paralysis, but hey. Paralysis would be pretty great for, a hammer type build, so that I get the monster to hold still so I can wail on it for a bit. Can't tell if it's just like, okay, here we go, hit it with paralysis. Now I just flash circle and let the magic happen. Break some parts. I figured I was going to be able to dodge whatever was coming next. Guessing that its fire attacks are probably a little bit more... I just realized that I didn't bring any antidote stuff, but clearly that won't be a problem. All I have to do is not get hit. Also grab as many of these materials as possible, I guess, because I have plenty of money now, but I get the feeling that if I try to make like all these high-grade versions of the different weapon types, that won't necessarily be the case for long. Oh shit. Surprising that this flying bird wyvern is actually quite agile. It actually recovers quite quickly from all the stuff that I'm doing to it. I'll put this on, this mantle on just a second ago, but I'm always kind of paranoid that I end up putting it on right before the monster decides to run away to a different area, which happens oh so often, it's not even funny. I was hoping there was going to be enough of a slope that I could do a jump attack, but just, quite good with a hammer, but apparently it was not to be. Apparently, look at that, my paranoia was not entirely unjustified. Okay, let's get out of here, let's take that off immediately, and let's just hover around this area for just a little bit longer and see if that thing left any tracks, or if it's just going to be... It's gonna be Sitsia cool footprints. Might as well go ahead and get those out of the way too. know what I should do? Hold on, I'll do it after. Not right now, because I'm pretty sure that what I'm about to do is just teleport back to the camp a second time. And this time actually remember to bring those antidotes with me. And you know, leave the rest of the stuff. What's this? Where did I find some antidotes? Oh, whatever. Because I did have some. Healing booster effect and has worn off. Oh man. Sure I wasn't using it or taking advantage of that to begin with, but... Okay, where's Yian Garuga? How do I get back up to where it is? Because I have to come down here first for some reason. I'll grab all these CTAQ tracks if only because... them not being there will probably make it a little bit easier to find the Garuga tracks. Speaking of the Garuga, apparently it came over here, and CTAQ. A way you might say. Actually decided to come over here to the Coral Highlands region. Okay. Some amazing angle place. Apparently the reach that this thing has between, you know, where it starts to wind up its attacks and where it actually lands is pretty insane. Oh great. And now I got two of these fucks at once. I was about to flash my cat, but I guess the cat just didn't care. Right, before we even bother doing anything else, let's go ahead and try to send out the tail radio signal. Come on, stay right here, because I did confirm, I'm pretty sure that if you don't stay right next to this thing, right after deploying it, it doesn't actually work. Take one step away from it too many, then you're not getting any help. That sucks. Okay, we don't want to go this way, we want to go this way. Maybe this time we'll actually be able to, you know, hit the Yian Garuga and not get double teamed by another weird looking fucking wyvern. Okay, it's just doing the big... I was gonna do the big Rathian upswing where it just swings like a quick loop-de-loop and hits you with a tail to poison you. Yeah, that move. Thank you for demonstrating after I mentioned it. That was very thoughtful of you. I actually hit it with this again. I guess it's reasonably vulnerable to paralysis, which is nice. I broke another part. Only broke the head that time, and broke like the legs or the midsection or whatever previous time. Slinger ball. I wonder if that's from the what should I call it? I wonder if the Slinger bomb is from something that the cat did, or because it does have the plunder blade and the thing that's called the Palarine. Or if it's from, you know, actual damage to the monster. It would be nice if it were a ladder, but I don't know how much I can actually count on that. I can actually get stuck in the... It's kind of interesting. Well, it's interesting too, in which something that I'm not capitalizing on at all, but I really should, is the fact that look at this environment right here. You can go up the wall and do the jumping attack, which was completely went into the wrong direction there for no reason. Alright. Hey, did I break the head and cripple its fire attack by doing so? It's interesting. Okay. Oops, now I can actually hit it with the... No, I can't. I'm completely unable to heal. What the fucking jumping attacks should go in the completely opposite direction from the way you climb onto the wall, shouldn't it? Unless I'm completely reading that wrong. I'm certainly wondering why it's... Oh dang it, didn't want to interrupt myself. Just trying to... I don't know what else I'm doing. Is just aiming for R1 instead of R2. Because this is what happens when I end up playing a weapon that's technically not my main weapon. There we go. Didn't get a jumping attack, but at least I got a mount. Not quite what I was aiming for, but I'll take it. Oh, it's being restrained. Oh, I hope it stays still for long enough that I can hit it with my onslaught here. Finish this combo up. I guess I did. I'll finish a second combo, but is that gonna be too much? Nope, apparently it wasn't too much. It was perfect. Well, now it's fucking toppled. That's kind of special. Actually didn't weigh at all. It just went immediately from being in the trap to being toppled. Well, thank you for staying still long enough that I can do this. I guess I'll hit it in the back now. Or the tail. I'm fairly sure you can't actually sever the tail if you're not using a bladed weapon though, but it's worth a try. I don't remember if... Holy shit, it's actually quite vulnerable to this. I'm just like stun locking it in this. I don't remember ever like getting a tail carve with a hammer. Maybe I'm just remembering wrong. Maybe I'm just actually selling myself short there. Okay, I think actually we'll refrain from going all the way back to the camp for once. Let's pop one of these so that I can max out my stab again and then just follow these scout flies. You'll notice too that it hasn't been leaving any tracks. Maybe it's going to sleep already, actually, I have no idea. It would be pretty quick though. I say it would be pretty quick even though the hunt has been going for about more than 15 minutes now technically. Tail raider left us. What is that? Hold on, actually. Before we even... I was gonna say before we even re-engage, but I guess it's not to be... What I want to do is, you know, go past into this little alcove back here and recruit more cat help, because I know that they gather here. And it's always nice to recruit more help, not just to have the help, but also to increase my unity with these cats, which is necessary to get everything as far as access to the side quests, I'm pretty sure, so... Let's go ahead and disarm through this time, because since we just initiated the fight in this, you know, part of the map, I'm pretty sure it won't just run away immediately. I'm reasonably certain of this, at least. Shit. Hold on, let me go ahead and dodge so I can actually use the Clutch Claw here, because this is pretty much our ultimate to do that. I'm not just your opening to do that, but since he's right next to this tree, maybe this time I can actually... Yeah, there we go. Well, it didn't quite land all the way, but I did manage to get a few strikes off, and that's, I guess, the best you can hope for. Maybe I should aim for the wings next time. I'm pretty sure you should be able to break those, and they don't look broken to me right now. There we go, we got... other paralysis. That's surely a good place which to aim for the wings. Maybe not. I just seem to be hitting the legs with that. The legs are pretty much the only part that it's even remotely close to the ground consistently. Other than the head, I guess. Head does have pretty low. Literally just do this over and over and get away with it. doesn't do that much damage, I guess, if you only land a couple of strikes, but... Thank you, Temporal Mantle, I guess. I need to remind myself too that this is the area that has the giant vigor wasps, so I am able to grab that if it's possible. Ooh. Just gonna do the big and the big wind-up fire thing. I'm able to read some of its moves pretty recently, or pretty recently so far, even if it was silver pelt. Even if this is, you know, the one and only time that I've been fighting it so far, because so many of its moves are basically the same as the Wrath moves, like I keep saying. Because it's true. Oh shit, I didn't want the potion. I want the antidote. Hold on. I can't even drink that potion. Do drink the antidote. I still don't understand why it sometimes just like brings up the thing and doesn't actually drink from it. Oh shit. You somehow managed to knock me out of climbing the tree. That's kind of special. I'm not really climbing a tree, but you know what I mean. Like, going up the tree to prepare for... I guess I hadn't actually broken the head now, and now I did. And now the wings are for sure. See that quite clearly there, though. It's gonna be quite close to being done at this point. Okay, now I'll drink a potion. Pretty much just drunk or wasted the other one. But let's see. Let me just have a really quick look back here just to make sure if didn't miss anything else that it might have possibly dropped, and also realize that I guess the other cat that we recruited also got killed during that confrontation, so let's go into this little nook and recruit another one. Let's get more doomed red shirt type help. That he didn't like leave any items behind or leave any backup. It pretty much tells me that you know, well, whatever faction the cats back here belong to, I need to raise my unit. Yes, I'm pretty sure so far I managed to get to maximum unity with one of the factions, and that's the Garuga, and I'm pretty sure that once you get to a high enough level, when one of your helpers dies, they either leave an item behind or they actually call another one of the same faction to replace him. Like instantly after the other one fails. Both. I don't know, it's definitely gets better as you level that up though, as you might expect. Seems quite intuitive. Quite expectable, I don't know. Anticipatable, something that you would certainly look forward to. Predictable, I guess. Basically the word I was looking for. Predictable, quite unlike Yian Garuga's movements. Oh, I can't actually... Oh, there we go. Get another mount. The mount might actually be a little bit easier when you're on the hammer. Like, I just mean easier as in... as far as triggering the mount, I mean easier as far as... I don't know, making the mount timer set faster. Maybe that's complete bunk, but it certainly feels that way when I'm doing hammer hunts. Probably should have done that strike on the wings. Or in the back so that it would be closer to the wings, but... yeah, whatever. This will surely do too. Maybe I can get it. Oh shit, it broke out really quickly that time. Apparently all of my freaking strikes that time were going to the Jaguars, not the fucking, you know, the monster I'm actually fighting. But hey, it's paralyzed again. You don't know, like, after you finish that big combo, if it's easier to recover just to wait. If you get faster recovery by just waiting or by doing a roll. I think you do get faster recovery by doing a roll, though. I do need to kill a bunch of small monsters, though, apparently, for one of my bounties. Shoot. Well, at least I am immune to... because of the coral... Because the cat that I recruited is from the Coral Highlands faction, and I guess that means that I'm immune to not fainting to being stunned, which is nice. And I'll tailor it at home, which I of course assume that's because you ran out of health, but hey. They knew the risks of the job, I guess. Come hunting giant bird wyverns and you'll probably get bodied. Could be going a little bit better, I think, these strikes, these jumping strikes in particular, but especially when they don't land, I feel compelled to say that, but well, we seem to be doing fine so far, as far as not being horribly bodied. I've been carded once, that's clear. You know, a flat rate indicator that I'm doing great. Maybe that's all there is to this game, not carding. So yes, I'm probably about to card. Well, obviously I still have a stun immunity. Oh shit, I actually interrupted myself. Drinking a potion there, but it doesn't matter because I can just go back and turn to the camp. I don't know, do I still want to not bother with that? I guess I can pop a regular potion and top myself off and then sharpen and then just keep going after it. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. I mean, there's a couple of places in this whole area, I'm pretty sure, where you can go to recruit more cats, and we just stepped away from the one that's in this area, so I think we're just gonna like try to chance it and go after the monster without recruiting another helper. Which is right here anyway, so it's faking me out. I see it was like looking to its left for a moment there, but then it decided to turn to its right because that's where I was headed. Well, you're decently mobile when you're like trying to set up a hit with a hammer, but it would be a little bit better. Oh shit. I'll just start setting up a combo here. It's the ideal position, clearly. It's optimal, you might even say. That was optimal timing too for that to wear off. That was excellent. Absolutely excellent. And so was also optimal timing for that to wear off, like right before this fucker decided to get toppled. Also, how many things are optimal right now? I have no idea how to express all of them. let's actually try to not die here. Let's actually try to drink an antidote here. I don't know why. It's so adamant I'm not actually doing it. Come on, I'm pressing this direction. There you go. I think I broke one of the wings with that bomb pod. Thank goodness for that, because that was my intention. That was the trick. Somehow missed with that last one though. I did lose my Vitality Mantle, or Temporal Mantle, but I do still have the Vitality Mantle, so I might as well try to capitalize on that. This confrontation. I do have the, whatever it's called, a Divine Blessing with the Vitality Mantle, just to try and exploit it so it doesn't run out as quickly. Or hit the damage threshold as quickly, I guess. I'm pretty sure that's a much, yeah, I know for a fact. I just being pretty sure, being like absolutely certain that that's a much bigger worry for you when you're using the Vitality Mantle. It's not the timer, it's the actual damage threshold. Right there, somehow I passed the damage threshold by being on fire, by being hit by something that went through a wall. Okay, I guess this time I will go back to the camp, but I will continue to be surprised by the fact that apparently fucking Yian Garuga is not leaving any tracks, any new tracks whatsoever. Because I don't have any chance of filling the research level to 1 at this point. Like filling the research bar all the way, that is. Okay, I assume it's gonna show up here in the guiding lens and like regular expeditions later on, but be what to expect at this point. As far as tracking it. Hope that it at least gets me to research level 1 after this, but I have no idea if it's gonna do me that decency. Let's see, Tail Raider, oh yeah, that was it's one of the monsters. And depending on where it went, and I'm pretty sure it's off to sleep now. It should be doing that to recover. Might be able to recruit another cat to help us with the final phase of the fight, but we'll see. It's sleeping now. At least it comes back over here to the part of the map that has the, you know, the big wisp. Hey fellas, I know you've fallen twice in battle in my name just in this session already, but clearly that's not enough for me. I need even greater tribute to be paid in my name. Right. Actually quite a good environment for you, well, for the player to be fighting any monster, honestly. In this particular zone, in this particular area, it's currently quite easy to take advantage of the environment and make things easier on yourself. I think I can even climb up there. It's got like little flat mushrooms growing out of it, that's an indication to climb up it. Don't you just love it when the geometry actually works in your favor for once? There we go. Well, let's come over here and smack it a bunch of times. Doesn't seem to be that prone to paralysis after like the first couple of times. I think it's a decent project to hit it with for first implementation, I still say. Okay, it's actually, yeah. I think that it's kind of surprising though, there's like how many times I managed to topple it in a row with stun at one time, and then pretty much was not able to do it again at all until now. Ooh. Yeah, so it gets its beak stuck in the ground sometimes with that attack. Something that I hadn't quite managed to see clearly until now. Well, I'm guessing that the stun attacks work better if you hit the head specifically. Hey, stunned again with one of these fucking... what do you call them? What's claw attacks? And our other cat friend also died again here now. Oh, its freaking mouth is back. Hold on. Oh, surely we got this even without any assistance. Unless we don't. Hold on. If we really stubborn and try to get a bit more assistance, even though this monster's basically dead already, I think. I'll just run over here, wait for the cat to come and do diplomacy and sharpen my hammer with malicious intent, because that's something that people usually do. Well, I mean, this particular hammer does seem like it has some like sharp blades attached to its end. So in this one particular instance, I suppose it makes some kind of sense to be sharpening a hammer, but really a hammer if it's, you know, got all these extra attachments at that point. And yeah, literally we just needed to hit it with one more combo and it would have died, but... in this way we get even more brownie points with the tail raiders. We get more... I'm pretty sure. Garuga silver pout, that's what we got before. A cortex and a Fey Wyvern gem, alright, so that's like the generic master rank reward you get from the bird wyverns. Oops, that's not what I wanted to look at. I want to look at the description for the other thing. Let's see, silver pelt. Somewhere in the back here, it might not be accessible anymore. Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure it's just like another... reasonably sure that it's just like another generic, you know, material description. Just like so many of these are. Well, let's go ahead and finish this by popping the giant river wasp. Which we never actually took advantage of during that, you know, the actual hunt, because I don't think we ever got to a point where we needed to do that while we were in this area. I think that took nearly 40 minutes. Sure, it could have been, you know, optimized a little more, but whatever, we got plenty of stuff here. Yeah, I guess we broke one wing, we got a single fell wing. Broke the head, got a reward for that, got a shard. I think we only got one shard during that whole thing, honestly. Oracle. I should have read the description for that site. That seemed like it was a little bit different, but hey. I'll literally just look at that in the box after this. Hero of Faints, would you look at that? And you got troopers. I got to level 6, which means you can now use pause-ups. There are new safari locales available. I guess by now you can send tail raider safaris to the guiding lands. Could that be the case? Because it would be a welcome addition, to be sure. let's see what we have now. It's a result of our hunt. Apparently got no immediate prerogative to go talk to anyone about that hunt. It's kind of surprising. Let's see if we got any new results here. In our resource center thing.
It's so cold.
I like the cold, it's better than the heat, but I can tell you for sure. We've apparently slain 2 Master Rank Elder Dragons since I put that bounty up. Just kind of surprising. Considering. So what does it say? Where is it? Here it is. Short-tempered bird wyvern marked by its hard black scales and impressive mane. It strikes with its distinctive beak. Moves violently with its entire body, enough to break pitfall traps when enraged. Slowed by breaking body parts or baiting out its stamina-intensive beak attacks. Stamina-intensive beak attacks. Well, I guess those are the ones where it just sticks the beak into the ground and gets stuck for a few seconds. And everything else here is old news, so... Well, do we have materials from an old new monster? Let's go stop at the smithy and see what we have. Let's upgrade some new armor. Huntsman still obstinately clings to his old Blade Master equipment. He's the only one with hope permission to hang on to it for so long. Well, I'm quite glad I don't have to pick between those, at least. Not in this universe. Oh boy. This is what I would imagine the Nargacuga stuff would look like, honestly, but I'm pretty sure that if you look at the Nargacuga stuff, it's just like ninja-looking stuff. Tell you you're fighting or you're getting that equipment from a big bat. Well, it kind of does, if you look at the headpiece, at least in that first one. The rest of it not so indicative of the thing, though. And then there's this, which just turns you into Lubu, I guess, or the female version in this case. To imagine how, or I have to wonder how different that is from the male armor, because they are different, but I do have another character in this that's a male, but that hasn't even touched Master Rank. I don't even know if I finished like the regular story mode with that. Killed Xenojiva, but apparently this one has earplugs, so should I might consider switching out my Tigrex chest for a Yian Garuga chest if I can get the materials for it. Earplugs and critical eye are pretty good skills. But the coil. And then a poison attack, yeah, that one's not so good. At least stick with the Tigrex coil. Cause I don't. Well, what does the Tigrex coil have? Let's see. This one in particular has earplugs level 1 and no free meal, but free meal comes with the chest, so maybe I can switch it out for this one. Or not, because I'm pretty sure that the amount of deco slots that I have on this thing is actually pretty important. But yeah, maybe I'll actually switch the chest for this chest at some point. I hadn't put that in the wish list, why not? Apparently need more Felwings though, and Oracle. Scratch Shell. Somehow we weren't able to get the Scratch Shell. Maybe we only get it from like expeditions in the Guiding Lands, if we hunt the Yian Garuga. I do notice that, I mean, I think Yian Garuga has been the only monster that we've hunted from an actual quest in the Guiding Lands and not an expedition. Oh yeah, and the Lash, we didn't get anything of that because, predictably enough, we weren't able to cut the tail with the hammer, but let's look at the upgrades for the dual blades, if there's anything. Apparently there is Raven Tessin, and apparently there's something else. Wonder what that could be about. Dual blades made from a Yian Garuga single flutter shred spray in the blink of an eye, and apparently it's decent affinity and poison element. I want to make these eventually just for the aesthetic. But the only new weapon we have, or new upgrade tree that we have as far as dual blades, I guess it is. What about the hammer? Let's we'll check that too. Yeah, we have a Yian Garuga tree. Also poison, and it's also quite good affinity as far as base weapon affinity goes. I want to see if the spirit of a Yian Garuga possesses it, so do we have all the trees uncovered yet? Because sometimes if you see a tree in this these upgrade screens that relative to a monster that you haven't actually fought yet. I would just say like question mark tree, but I think all the trees that we can see so far are actually uncovered. No wait, never mind, here's one that isn't. Apparently for sleep element. I wonder what that one could be. What about some of the other weapons that we've been dabbling in, like the gunlance? Advail gunlance, quite good paralysis element, but paralysis element is good, but only if you direct it towards, you know, a monster that's actually vulnerable to it. Yeah, defeating Garuga wasn't particularly so. Because Garuga's whole element is poison, though, which makes sense since it has the poison tail, just like the thingy does to Rathian and the Rathalos do. The Rathian does, but I'm guessing that it's more like Rathian than Rathalos because its poison seems to come only from the tail, and it's pretty much the same as it works with Rathian, whereas with Rathalos the poison part are the talons, so we can't get rid of them permanently. Yeah, apparently there's another monster that I haven't fought yet, that's sleep element. There's a few weapon variations that have that. These are upgrades. Wait. Look at Sword and Shield, but I haven't actually looked at any. Like the Sword and Shield upgrades. Quite a while. Or the regular lance, because I'm not even that much of a regular lance player. I'm mostly a gun lance player when it comes to turtling. You know, I probably would do good to like learn regular lance as well, honestly. Based on how I played guns. Have the time, which is just like, you know, hide behind lance and poke, poke, poke. Or when you just want to win, so you don't care about having fun. You just, you know, hide behind the shield and for about 5 hours. Did we see the Yian Garuga tree for this thing yet? Garuga tree. There's fucking Dodogama stuff that I haven't even looked at yet for this lance. I think lance has like a shit ton of these, you know, these upgrade trees compared to a lot of other weapons. Well, here's another Giganta tree, but I guess we don't know what the thing is for, you know, the highest tier of this yet. What about it to assume that it's Ruiner Nergigante stuff, but I thought I already gotten some Ruiner Nergigante materials, but maybe not. Maybe I should do a Ruiner Nergigante hunt now to try and figure out whether or not that's the case. If I were to do that, I'm pretty sure I would stick to dual blades though. Feeling I'm not quite at the point where I would necessarily feel comfortable hunting a fucking master rank variation of Nergigante with hammer. But let's see, do we have any investigations where we can target Ruiner Nergi? But we can take it at this time. Or maybe not. Because I'm seeing that it it's Volcano Seething Basil, Amiel, Savage Devil Joe, and then it just jumps straight to Sin Ogre, so I don't even know. Doesn't look like we can kill Ruiner Nergi. Maybe we're just not able to kill Ruiner Nergi at all until we do like even more stuff in the Guiding Lands, but speaking of the Guiding Lands, I guess I could just go there and go on an expedition and see what happens. Energy has appeared. Oh boy. It's really exciting. We just do more of these, you know, optional quests for stuff, but for actual rewards. Maybe this is the key to getting each and every one of my mantles upgraded to max, including the temporal mantle, but Really, I'm too lazy to do that. We just go to the Guiding Lands. Like, if we depart now, like what monsters are there right now? Rathalos, Tigrex, and Blue Rathalos. I should hunt one of those dudes with the hammer. What if we just hunt Blue Rathalos? Hates ice and hates dragon elements. Okay, maybe not. Maybe I should focus on dual blades again. So I can get like even more specialized hammers. Also, water element hammer that I was using to hunt what's his face, Anjanath, and that's about it. Well, that and the Brachytail hammer, which is like the strongest explosive hammer I can get right now. What's the highest grade stuff I have right now? Also this, but maybe this could be decent, but I don't know. I just stick with dual blades, some Sarioths. Go ahead and take care of this, this Blue Rathalos. I don't think I need to change anything else, so maybe bring a few of these. Since I'm going to the Guiding Lands, which pretty much implies that it's going to be an expedition only. Let's just go ahead and a bunch of these rations from my own box. Don't remember, can you buy like more rations from the stockpile over here? That's how you get those. Jerky, trap tool. Apparently not. I actually don't even know how you get those rations, because if you cook raw meat in the field, which is one of the first things you have to do in the game if you're like starting from scratch, you get a well done steak, you don't get a ration. And you know, well done steaks are good and all, but the whole thing about rations is that you can eat them, like chomp them in just a second. And the steaks have a much longer animation for consuming them, so I actually don't even remember where the fuck you get more rations. I'm gonna have to look that up. Apparently they're not nearly as renewable as the other thing is. What am I doing? Picked the wrong thing. Not nearly as renewable as the steaks are. It's pretty surprising when you put it that way, I guess. Expedition to hunt at least this Blue Rathalos, and then probably we'll return home and see what's what. Maybe we'll get a new quest from that. Maybe I'll do something else entirely. Hold on just a second. Alrighty. Yes, chicken a thing, but yeah, let's well, first let's eat. And get the generic chef's choice. I should be fine. It's just a regular old Blue Rathalos, but you know what makes me even more fine if I turn the overlay on. I can actually see like how much health we're dealing with here. That'll make things be so fine you have no bloody clue. Alright. Move these things around again. There we go. So we're actually not only hunting Blue Rathalos, but we're also gonna be going after Rathalos for just a little bit, just so we can get more research level on him by filling up the track bar thing. And once that's done, we will go straight for Blue Rathalos. We keep an eye out for like some of this stuff, some of the gathering points that you can also get. Oh, there's some Blue Rathalos tracks, hold on. Some of the stuff that you can also get, right? So we needed to get one track of each to be able to fill that up completely. Which is certainly my prerogative. But yeah, maybe also check out some of them gathering points, which is another thing that you need to keep an eye out for in the Guiding Lands. Or so I managed to learn so far. Let's go down here. Well, there's regular Rathalos, whereas I guess the blue guy is just gonna be down here. Hope he sticks around for long. Oh wait, never mind. Both of them are down here now. I think hope he sticks around for long enough that I can initiate this and not be not be in trouble, I guess, but not have to deal with him running away would be a more accurate way to put it. But sure, these guys are not gonna be friendly with each other. They're just fighting now, but they initiate an actual turf war. Because they don't have a proper turf war thing going on. They're just gonna fight each other. Oh, what a trap. I set up a trap. Well, at least the guy that I'm actually fighting against right now is the one who got caught in it. This is less than ideal, having to deal with two of these dudes at once, but... Damn. Let's try that one more time, or hold on. Let's actually... Let's realize that I don't have any first aid med plus, because this is an actual quest. I have to dig into my own supply to be able to heal. At least we're calling them small monsters pretty easily here, as you can tell. And because they're collateral damage. Apparently these dudes are too preoccupied with each other to even capitalize on the fact that I am down, which I'll accept. I'll very much allow. We're perfectly fine with that. Oh no, it's we're about to get caught in the oh, it's about to hit me with one of the attacks, so it's able to do anything, but I thought he was also about to get caught in the vine trap. This will be a really good time for me to use one of these freaking long butts. This is like the very perfect opportunity, the very exact situation in which you would expect to use one of those. But of course, after I use one of those, the freaking Rathalos decide to get toppled. Fuck are all these attacks being done in sequence? I stunned, exactly. Okay, I was gonna say because I can't move, but all of a sudden I was able to. Good on you for drinking on the first attempt. My character. I sure hope I can get a few more of these free meals, or none at all. That's also an option, you know? For fuck's sake, I don't want the scatter knot, I want material. There, thank you. Bring this boy down. Okay, I'm on ahead as many times as necessary with scatter nuts. If I hit him on the head with these things now, will it actually go down to earth? Yes, it will. Alright, just checking. Apparently, much like with the pink Rothian, the rest of his tail needs to be tenderized. For any part other than the very tip of it to be vulnerable. There's one thing that I have to admit. I am quite glad that I'm able to just forget about when I'm playing with hammer, but I should just hurry up and build more. Wait, there's a bone pile around here. There we go. Build more versatile elemental variations of the hammer so that I can just turn to that more consistently. Guessing that when the ingredients have been replenished, the message comes up. It just means that you can go eat again at the canteen. Have all the options available to you. What's going on here? Is this one of the traps that the other cats left for us, I guess? Has to be. Alright, let's actually go chase after this dude now. Maybe. Not sure where the... wait, hold on, there's another mining outcrop? Or is that just the same one that... there might be another one. I have no idea where it wants me to go to look at that, though. I'm gonna hang out by the walls here, the edge of this place. If I get another scout fly notification for another mining outcrop or what? We'll need to gather as many materials as possible from as many places as possible here. That is part of it. Here's one. This is what they meant. Okay, for real this time, let's go continue the fight. Actually, we need to hurry up a little bit more because, you know, it's a little bit more difficult to conclude these fights when you're doing them in, oh, for fuck's sake, in the expedition mode. You got the time limit to worry about. But the monsters just decide to leave. Oh, for fuck. Pretty sure that's why he got toppled to begin with. He got hit with the paralysis one. Okay, only got the tail. It's not really that surprising considering you have the maxed out Heartbreaker skill. I'm gonna have to... okay, never mind. I was gonna say, I'm gonna have to deal with the fucking... with regular Rathalos with the Dawn Pod again, but then... apparently I didn't. I just got just 1 out of 3 of a piercing pod, so why just 1 of 3? It's one of the other 2. We can get this boy to stay still so I can do something, anything. Drops to, I guess it's more perk of the Master Rank version, but that's low to just do a bunch of attacks in a row when he's in the air. Sure that no other version, no the one other version of Blue Rathalos exists, I guess I'm not sure. But before Iceborne, Blue Rathalos in this game is high rank only. I'm sure the high rank version of Blue Rathalos was never this crazy with the air attacks sequence. Okay, let's see. I have 2 Slender Thorns, which is a full thing. My belt. If I am able to... let's grab this poop first. If I am able to... grapple onto the head and get him with both of these at once, does that mean I'll be able to... for fuck's sake, of course you get thrown in that one with a... that sequence with a breath attack. And I'm stunned. I should have figured he wasn't gonna stay in the ground. Oh, nice. It's an actual... Okay. Let's hit him with this and see if that does anything. That didn't really do anything, though. That's nice. Oh, this thing is completely gone, which means that I got way more... Well, I'm poisoned and I'm stunned. I kind of fucked now if I get attacked by actual big attack all of them. Apparently we're leaving, which I would just leave along with the Rathalos, or the blue Rathalos, if not for the fact that I need to carve the tail, so hold on a second. Sure hope that I don't get aggroed by the other Rathalos while I'm trying to do this. That would really suck. Would probably make me cart. Considering my current state. Alright, let's just go back to camp and get a free heal. I got a free meal from the last time I popped one of those antidotes though, so there's that. Oh, dang it, I almost never attacked the Banbaro. Maybe not what I meant to do. It's so hard to get, you know, Blue Rathalos by himself in this whole thing. Oh, he's being knocked down, but the Banner is also kind of away right now, which is going to make this just a little bit difficult. Dealing with trying to do damage, because he just pushed the Rathalos away from me completely. Apparently though my slugger ability does translate somewhat decently to the movements. And look at the fucking Banner just pushing the monster that I'm trying to fight away from me. And making me use up more of the active time on the rage. Oh. Because I'm down here now. How do I get back over there? Is it possible? I guess I can hang on to that wedge beetle. Or not. Never mind. It's not possible at all. Or after all. Except this time it was, even though I have no idea what I did different. Okay. It's a remarkable reaction time. Almost in the air now, you know that means we're kind of fucked. Could pop a single flash, but I think that the way it works is that last rank monsters are pretty much vulnerable to flash pots only ever once, and then they don't give a shit about them ever again. Yeah, like right now. Either a monster or a material back here. Did it seriously disappear in the 2 seconds that I was looking away? Oh, I see. Well, let's give chase immediately, I suppose. We basically just put on the fireproof mantle here. Alright, let's see. I down him with a flash pod once, which basically implies that he's not completely immune to those. So that's not gonna work again. spamming the clutch claw here, because we don't really have any better options at this point. And we're somehow hit with poison claws, even though we weren't even anywhere near the claws. We were hanging on to the wings. That's pretty special. But yeah, since we can't really bring him down with what we have, I guess literally the best option, just keep spamming the clutch claw. Perhaps be content with that. It happened again. Yep, completely have avoided that, can't you? Oh, and now I'm stunned, so I might be fucked. I am fucked. That's nice. Regular Rathalos is gone. Just pop this again. That's a bit of a problem when dealing with blue Rathalos in, or with any fucking flying monster really in Master Rank, but especially blue Rathalos, just like when it goes into the air, you can't really deal with it, can you? Hold on. Yo, don't forget to those. If there's any items or anything that I could use to force him to come down, are there? Oh, just pretty much relying on clutch claws since I don't have any. I'm not a ranged weapon at all. Oh, hey, Garuga in the locale. Let's some research for that. Right, I have the Temporal Mantle, and I should be completely immune to any attempts at any attempts at shaking me off when I'm doing a clutch claw. Well, we broke one of the wings, I guess I can try to break the other one now. I don't know what would have hit me there, or triggered a dodge or damage, dodge or whatever. Time to just hold on to this one. Okay, thank Christ for fucking paralysis there. If we got the other wing where we worked the head, but we'll go for the head now. We managed to bring him down to like just under half health, which is yeah, we broke the other wing. Let's just go for the head now. So quick now that we're able to get a few decent combos in, but it's so fucking slow and he's just in the air forever. Yeah, I desperately need these slinger materials or ammo so that I can try to bring him down if he moves anywhere again. Hold on. Try and tenderize the head. I don't know if he had broken the head already or not, but anyway, so might as well take this opportunity. Slinger bombs and get some Garuga research. There we go. There's Bambaro. But we have a pretty specific thing we want to be focusing on right now. And it's not Garuga, even though it's apparently right here. It's to join in the party. Death. Now the very first thing I'm gonna be doing once this, confrontation initiates, it'll let me. It will. Apparently, Mr. Blue Rattler just wants to pick a fight with Garuga right now or something. It certainly seemed that way for a second. Nope, it's having a turf war. Never mind, I was completely right. Turf war is great because it means free damage for me. Ah, fudger. Oh, we broke another heart. What that was that time. I don't want to fight Garuga right now, like I said. I'm in the middle of this, I can't really avoid it. Just keeps coming toward me somehow, right? I guess Garuga ran away. It turns out we're able to just complete this at our own pace now. Garuga ran away even though now the picture of the battle theme just switched to Garuga, which means the opposite of what I just said. It's not running away at all. Hanging around here. Oh, there's a bunch of little white shinies here. That's what that looks. Assassin Cutwing. That's the guiding lens Garuga material. Let's do this now, even though I don't know if it'll make a difference or work. I guess it did kind of work for keeping Rathalos out of the air, so there's that. That's never gonna get old, is it? Which I mean, that's never gonna be something that stops happening. Even though it really ought to. Let's just attack this general area with the legs and the head. It's dying now. It's only gonna be a little bit longer before it before the inevitable happens. So. We just going to sleep like right on top of where we are. So, in a second, well, it has a chance to do that without. Without us being in the way. It's only got just under 2500 health, and soon it will have 0. Well, the gun actually spawns between the legs now, just like the patch note said. Is it having a poop right where it just was sleeping? That's a little unusual behavior for an animal. But typically you don't poop when you sleep. There we go, got it. Just a couple more good combos and we should have this completed. Just a few more hits. There we go. There's to slay a blue Rathalos in the guiding lens. That's a first. That's another material on Sir Scale. Let's carve her up. Guess another monster, I guess Rathalos left the locale, and whatever monster was also here also left the locale. Banbaro, I suppose, and now Odogaron is also here. What special tracks do we have right now? Hold on. We have Flying Wyvern special tracks, apparently. Or 2 out of 4 analyzed. Can't tell if like the little paw symbol counts as a 5th one, or if that's just supposed to be there for stylized stuff. I might as well just pop back at the camp. I'll be leaving this place real soon anyway, it doesn't matter, but... These fangs leave this since we're not gonna be fighting that anymore. And let's go. Some of the veteran tracks and then probably just go back to the base. Maybe I got time for one more hunt, depending on how things go after this. There we go, there's the Odegaran prints. And now we have Odegaran fully researched, isn't that nice? Well, over here we might as well go down to the Rotten Vale sector. And is this Rotten Vale sector? No, it isn't. But I think we're getting close. There it is. And here's Odegaran. Actually, I want to find Odegaran though. I need to come down here to this area and see if there's any gathering points that I can use, because I think the ones in the Rotten Vale sector in particular, here we go, are a little bit higher grade than the ones in other areas. And you know, you do get unique materials from getting the higher grade gathering points in the guiding lands, I think, so... Check all these holes and edges. That's a mining point right there. This one's red. I think we can actually get some really potent fuel for the steamworks from the red gathering points, mining points. But you know, typically it's like whatever, but it's nice to do the steamworks when you can get a guaranteed celestial print from that, if you wish to get the overdrive. Also need to gather mushrooms and bugs, so I'll take this opportunity to complete that bounty. Anything up here? Let's see. Typically there's like some bone piles or something that you can find up here, but I'm not seeing anything right away. Let's see, I guess a god bug, a couple of god bugs. That helps us complete the entomology bounty, so that's nice. Anything down here? Yes, there is. There's a bone pile right here. And there's some fucking Vespoids being pieces of shit right next to us too. Come a little closer, please. I think I'm even getting any new materials from this, but maybe at some point I will. Dragon Vein Coal is the one that I was thinking of. Okay, there we go. Oh, this one's bright red. Twilight Crystal and more Twilight Crystal. Did I already grab this point? I did not. So if you improve the grade of the gathering points, you actually get more of a given type. Let's go ahead and go back to the camp. If only because... Hey, Rathian is on the map now. Let's get some Rathian tracks. I think we're gonna go to the Wild Spire area, which is in the south next, because I think that's one where we don't have a lot of progress in the gathering points. But first, let's get all these Rathian tracks. There we go, full scale. Is that all you need to fill that up? That is indeed all you need to fill that up, so let's unselect that so we don't get distracted. Oh, this isn't where we're gonna go. Here we go, this is how you get to the Wildspire area. I think this counts as part of it already. Oh, here's the main part of it. Just look at the walls for any bone piles or any mining stuff I could look at. Hardly nothing up here. What about down here? Nothing so far like usual. For some reason the Wildspire region just doesn't seem to be really great as far as yielding a lot of these gathering points, but they are here on occasion. I've been able to confirm that. Let's just go all the way around. There is one location, like I'm pretty sure I mentioned, doing the Yian Garuga hunt. One location somewhere up here, between two of the plant thingies that, well, there's a Rathian, but typically always yields a bone pile or something right here. Yeah, there it is. I think typically when I do get gatherings in this region, you show up in this one area. And I'm not as thrilled about showing up as the fucking Rathian. I don't want to fight the Rathian, damn it. I never asked for this. Hold on, let's be discreet while we be able to. Slink away from this without incident. Apparently my cat's getting traded materials from it, but we're full of items. Guess we're picking these up if nothing else. As my cat threw down a gauntlet and decided that there was no chance for peace. There never was. Okay, let's get the fuck out of here. Garuga left and was replaced by a different Garuga. Is that what I'm seeing in the fucking thing there? That's interesting. Well, there's the other Garuga. Hold on, there it is. There's a track right here that we just walked on top of, wasn't there? Just won't show up again. Just walking behind it now. There we go, gaseous. We can just grab this instead. let's go back to here. Back to the camp and then explore the coral region. So that's probably gonna be the last thing we do. Probably return to... Hold on, let's empty our box first. Pouch. Actually leave all of this stuff. Even just the stuff that we carrying around in the... Or that we weren't carrying around in the beginning, I guess I should say. Just a quick look to confirm. The coral area is in the east side, yeah. It's out of the middle ground. It's not as slow as... For fuck's sake, what's going on with the camera here? Here. In well, the middle ground in that it's not as slow as the Rotten Vale region. But it is kind of low. Now this is the way to the Rotten Vale region. That's not where we want to go. To go east. Yes, here. Yeah. I don't know if in this area where the perimeter is surrounded with water, there's any of those gathering points that you can use, but I'm pretty sure most of the gathering points are in this area up ahead here. Actually around here. At least a couple, but... At least 0 today. It's weird. Oh, wait, here's something. It's just like... It's really hard to make out against the environment compared to... Oh shit, what? Wait, do we have too many materials, really? Well, that's different. Usually never have this problem. Well, not that one. Or that one. How to get rid of any of these? No idea that this was gonna be a separate thing. So I'm gonna leave this item for Crimson Bone. Hold on. We're gonna go back to the camp and turn in our results. I think that's the only way to send those items to like the box back at the base. That never happened to me before. And Dragon Coaling, Talon, etc, etc. Lash, Cortex. I hope this counts. For getting rid of our materials. Points, master rank almost goes up to 61. First region almost goes up to 4, but not quite. Other region goes up to level 3 at least. And Bug Trapper Unity increased. Now hold on, let me go into the tent real quick to try and make sure that confirm whether or not there's anything else that we can do to alleviate that, and apparently there isn't, so I have to assume that everything that I am able to do I have done. Hey, Sinogre's here. Get some Sinogre tracks. It's nice to improve research on monsters that we clearly not been able to do that with yet. Where is Sinogre right now, do we know? Not this way is the answer. I shall go looking for him real quick. Before we go back to the Highlands and try to grab more stuff. idea what decided to pick a fight here, but I do not approve. There's Sinogre. We found him. What I haven't found, however, is the reason why the Jaguars and the fucking Castellan decided to pick a fight so quickly. Have this before? I don't believe we did. Old footprints were. Okay. We need to fill that up. Electro fur. No, I'm definitely not picking a fight with. No idea of these monsters right now. Literally just looking for tracks. It left a few over here. Okay, now we're getting the battle team. I have no idea why, because it's really not looking to fight it right now. I just need to grab like one more truck so I can fill up my Sinogre research. Apparently it doesn't even want to let me do that. I guess I'm going somewhere else for now. I'll just come back to fill up the rest of my Sinogre tracks another time. Apparently right now I have to come back over here so I can get the rest of my materials from the bone pile. It actually let me this time. Hey, Bambaro is here too. Now. Wonder why. Who left? I guess other guard left. And then again, like a freaking Nagakuga left and... Crystallized Elder Dragonbone. 700 points, Jesus. I think that's nice and all, but I would like, you know, materials. I typically always do. Yeah, need Hunter. Come with us so that we're not actually going to be hunting anything, but... Get free brownie points with whatever cat faction that is for having you in our party for a given amount of time, so... Go ahead and be our patsy. Whatever you would want to call something in the situation. Your excuse, her trophy hunter, I don't know. What's going on here? What's that of a turf for? Oh, that might turn out to be a track for a specific monster, but I guess not. Oh, this is a bone pile. See, this is pretty much indistinguishable against the background here. That doesn't seem very fair. Oh, vibrant crimson bone, that's new material. Its curious form suggests untold potential, I suppose. I think we've, well, we have found the one mining spot there, but I think if there's one department in which we're weak in this region, it would be mining spots. I think that's another one. I don't know if we've been able to get any materials from this region as far as mining, but I guess that's it. So let's roll back to camp. As we're pretty much done, let's just try to fill out the rest of these Sinover tracks and then go GTFO. And maybe do one more hunt, but maybe not. And there's Garuga again. There's some old Sinover footprints, and apparently that's not quite enough to fill that up. That's unfortunate. Hold on, let's run past these two fuckers and see if we can find another track back. Here we go, serve my purposes. We did it. Let's not even bother going back to camp now, let's just immediately return to Siliana. And get Nargacuga Heartfang as an additional reward for our troublesome. Okay. First region is now level 4 of like 7, I think, that you can 6 or 7 that you can get it up to. Apparently Coral region is the lowest region as far as general development though. You know how the tutorial says that when one of the regions increases, the others might decrease? I don't know how true that is, because I think that, well, since they all start at rock bottom, it's reasonable to assume that there's going to be some improvement in general. Honestly, at this point, I wonder whether or not you can have all of them at maximum or not.
Nothing will stop us.
Small monster culling, there you go. And mushrooms. And entomology. Well, we got one left, and that's the most fucking dangerous one. Get anything new from the ecological research? No, apparently not. How far are we on our Sinover research right now? Apparently not as far as you would imagine, considering Yian Garuga is also pretty low, but that's not really surprising. But yeah, apparently Sinover did turn out to be quite weak to ice, so the weapon that I picked for my first confrontation against him did turn out to be quite apt. Let's see if we go to the guiding lance right now. It shows this. Yeah, apparently none of the regions have the completely low, super low grade pure white gathering points for any of their gathering stuff, which is nice, but I wonder. I want to go there. Maybe I'll do that. I'll do like one more hunt in the guiding lands. So guess I'll do Puke Puke, because I don't think I got any Puke Puke, did any Puke Puke hunts in the guiding lands before. Just do regular Puke Puke, which is weak to thunder and sleep and paralysis. Let's just do it with the hammer. Do it with the paralysis hammer. For the hell of it. Marga matraca, which is a pretty funny word to say in Spanish, but let's go do the thing in the guiding lands. Let's go hunt Puke Puke and let's go fill up our research levels for the monsters that are over there, and also gather even more materials, and then probably call it. Depending on how things go. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and the generic ass meal, and it's going to go into the tent so we can get our handy dandy regular ass loadout, which is not that one, it's this one. But also poison removal because we might need it with Boogie Boogie. Alright, let's go on the bird wyvern. Maybe, hold on, is that tempered Boogie Boogie? That is tempered Boogie Boogie. Oh, well, whatever. It's not a big deal. But let's get tracks for Sinogre first. I guess just so we can advance that further. Get even more Sinogre tracks. On scout wise, show me where the next track is. Hold on, let's see. Apparently the regular Boogie Boogie is coming up. Well, I say regular, but it's tempered, you know what I mean. That fucker is coming up here. We can just try to engage him now. Let's wait for these things to activate. Hold on, we're in a bit now. Well, called for backup, but apparently it didn't want to work this time. Never mind. We're gonna have to go elsewhere to recruit some cats. Fortunately, I'm pretty sure that elsewhere is right next to where we are right now. Okay, Sinogre leveled up. I know where Sinogre is now. It's apparently right on top of where we are. That's unfortunate, actually. Oh, damn it. I want to, grab these things before I climb. All these things, and also wonder why it takes so damn long for the research work to fill up sometimes. Where's the Boogie Boogie? I don't even know where it went, but well, let's recruit some cats and then teleport around a bit to try and get to where it is. And then the hunt can commence. But first, we clearly need the backup. Hey, is this didn't even realize there would be a mining point back here. Sure, I'll take that. This and teleport around, even if that was like a clear. If that would give me a clear indication of where to go to, or not a clear indication. There's if I had more than one option, and this, as if teleporting to the one option that I have was a guarantee that I don't actually want to go to where fucking Sinogre is now. I want to go to Boogie. And of course, it put me right next to where Sinogre is. Or whatever, it doesn't matter, as long as I manage to get by without aggroing. Yes, Boogie Boogie is coming up here again, though. That's something. Yep, here we are. Yeah, that unsurprisingly looks like even tempered Boogie Master Rank has low grade amount of total health as far as, as right monsters go. I guess we're doing this. Try to break the wing. Or at least swing out the wing. Oh shit. Oh shit. Are you serious? Oh, here comes this fucking guy. In the way. Good poison sack. I guess that was the guiding lines material for me. As nice as it is to wail on this guy, I would really prefer if I could do it without the fucking Sinogre being up in my fucking business here. Maybe I can get him to leave. I don't know. Him and the freaking back legs with one of the poop pods, but looks like the other guy left too, so I don't even know if that mattered. I don't believe that mattered. Did it? Nope. I think he just went right down there to where the Puke went too, so it's like whatever. Yeah. I don't want to fight this guy. I'm just gonna hit him with one of these again. Don't know if that will actually make a difference at this point, but they're both leaving now again. They both gotta leave to the same place just like last time over. Spirit Vein. Spirit Vein Gem Shard. And from tempered monsters in the Guiding Lands. Is that really the only way to get that? I guess now we have our answer as to how the fuck we get the Master Rank equivalent of the, what do they call it? Yep, they both run away to the same place again. The Streamstones, that's what I was looking for. Bird. Yeah, but they're both going to the same place again. Hold on a second. Where are the odds here? That would happen. I don't know where the scout flies want me to go at this point. They seem to be very confused. Well, here comes this boy. Okay. Doesn't seem like he has company for once, so take that as a good sign. I didn't want red. Not the obvious fucking material first. do something at least. Paralysis into a stun. I'll take that. Accept that. Yes, Carl Boogie Boogie he's coming back here too. Isn't that nice? Well, it's kind of nice just because I wanted to, you know, get some tracks for it as well, but not to be so nice if it decides to, you know, get mixed up in this fucking fight like Sinover did. It's not a distraction that I need right now. Apparently it's gonna be it's gonna be great. The other guy leave. Okay, well I'm leaving as well. So this isn't where I want to go to below the other guy. Oh, I'm down here already. Well, at least it does seem like when it came over here it didn't have company, so to end up fighting it here, which seems very likely given that we're all together here. Won't necessarily be interrupted. Let's try to jump onto it, I guess. Fail completely. It's not right next to the tree and it needs to be, of course. It feels that way at least. Well, time I could have done it, but the opportunity just kind of flew by. I do see a bone pile over there though. Oh, I fucking see over decided to show up again. That's not good. Shoosh, come on. Obsidian's here, and it's being it's obnoxious as usual. I think I hit it with a dunk on it, at least. I wonder if it's actually gonna react to that or not. Okay, it did. That at least. I just hit this dude in the back now. I don't think I'm gonna be able to capitalize on this because it takes so long to recover from the hammer swings. Hunters Wolrd is dropped materials, at least, I suppose. But not so much thanks for... Christ, for all this other crap that's going on. These cheap hits. We're doing decent damage at least, but... Did I tell you with the numbers that I saw, I thought that the paralysis thing that I'm inflicting, or trying to inflict with this hammer, would be a little bit more effective. I'll take this opportunity to realize that I guess the big vigor wasp is gone. Oh yeah, and to claim this thing, which I'm pretty sure I talked about just a minute ago, and I completely forgot that I talked about just a minute ago. Christ, fucking Vespoids, please. Oh, there's a giant vigor wasp. So I'll just pop that. So I'll recruit some cat help and might as well go right after the thing that we're killing. Oh boy. Oh hey BF. Pug. Garuga looks like Puke Puke. It does. It's kind of funny how that works. It's almost as if I wish this was a Rathalos hunt at this point instead, so I could just say like, hey look, the Garuga looks exactly like Rathalos or Rathian, but it's actually impossible to tell the difference because their movesets are basically exactly the same. Not really, but you know, they're definitely close enough that I feel justified in at least making that joke. Oh, what a vampire time. I'm not even sure how like trying to do more Garuga hunts is gonna work from this point on. Like, will I be able to get investigations, or is there maybe an optional quest that I can do? No, it's tempered Puke death time, I guess. Maybe. What about 35% of its total health? Oh, hey, and it got paralyzed again. That's nice. I guess I broke at least one of the wings at some point. I still am not even sure or counting on whether or not I would be able to break the wings with the hammer. Not the wings, but the table, that's what I mean. Well, guess we'll aim for the other wing. Shit. And we do have the immunity medal at least. Highlighted and ready. And if we can manage to do some decent dodging here. Dodge the poison fart. And be actually quite happy about the fact that, you know, we're scared because we're not hunting it. Oh shit. There we go. We'll actually be able to claim victory quite soon. It's only got about 20% health left, which equates to about 4,000 health here. I just hit it with the pod, piercing pod, I suppose. A few cheap hits unless it's trying to run away. And I guess we'll let it run away. So we'll also take this off because we have this one up now, and I'm pretty sure that for hey, Blue Rathalos is here now. Hold on. Before we even try to chase down Puke to, finish it off, let's see if we can fill up the research tracks on Coral Puke. Which I'm guessing is gonna be over in the Coral Highlands, because that would actually make sense. I don't know where the oh, I can't grab any more honey. Scoutflies wants me to go right now. Hold on. Still don't know where they want me to go. Oh, it left here. Fuck. Well, never mind. I guess we're not doing that. What a time. I wasn't even warned of this by the... the little notifications that are supposed to warn you about that. But maybe they only warn you about that if you have the full tracking bar. I guess I would, that's an explanation that I would swallow at this point, but... still doesn't quite mean I'd be happy about that. Ooh. Oh, there's Tsitsi. And here's this bone pile. We should hurry up and kill Puke because it's just gonna disappear if we don't just kill it, but... how could I possibly resist getting more, one pile stuff as this fucking Raffinos just decides to autobomb me. Does it sound like there are Raffinos in the Rotten Vale which will just try to dive bomb me for no reason? Because they get high off the effluvium and they think that it's okay to just, start poking everyone. Right, let's just get out of here and go back to where the, go back to the camp so we can get close to where the Puke is. And get ready for the final assault. Might as well just do this because it doesn't really matter at this point. Well, I guess it does matter at this point because it tells me like the best directions to follow to get to where it is. I might as well empty my bag of unnecessary stuff. Okay, now we're good. But it wants me to go this way. It's interesting. Wait, what? Okay. Definitely wasn't trying to slide off like that. That was a completely unintentional thing, but... I'm trying to jump off here. Could have just gone straight ahead and taken one of the vines down here. But you know, this works too. Oh, there he is. I didn't even see him at first. Alright. I think you can, like, really charge up a... we can do that, I guess. It's like multiple strikes, and the thing about, doing an attack to wake up the monster is that the only one that actually matters is the first one. First hit. It's the one that gets, like, double damage if you use it as a waking up attack. poisoned anyway. I guess that doesn't even count as doesn't even count as what do you call it? You know, reasonable enough hit to trigger the dodge man. Just kind of dumb considering that it's certainly gonna do damage, but it's gonna do damage gradually. Okay, at least run out. Here we got the mount. You can't charge that strike. Let's forget about that one. Okay. Winding it up though, to be honest with you. Just trying to go for the tail, even though, like I said, I'm pretty sure the tail has like 5x broken stuff right now, so I'm pretty sure you can't actually sever it with the hammer to use a bladed weapon. Oh, nice. Just a few more strikes and he should be dead. He's got less than 500 health left. Dead. We've done it. I've won. I think I didn't even count when I was doing that. Hey, 2 more Spirit Vein gem shards. Yes, please. Actually have no idea what I'm gonna be using that for, but I got a feeling. I got 1 more from carving, and I might get even more from my quest rewards after I decide to return from this, but also getting very special track progression, I guess. There's 1 more flying wyvern that I guess we have not yet been able to determine what it is, but there's a mining outcrop right here that I didn't even see, or it was sleeping. Let's go ahead and pop that. I guess if we're not fighting down here, this is also an area where some of these gathering points can show up, and here's another one, so we'll just try to look for as many of these gathering points as we can in the regions, and then we'll just turn in and probably leave it there. Can't really think of anything else I would want to do on stream at the moment. Unless I mysteriously get another one of those notifications as soon as I get back to the base. It says like, hey, there's a new monster sighting. You need to go hunt it right now, like with the Yian Garuga. It's that one literally showed up as soon as I started playing the game after I was done streaming last time, so that was kind of special. Here's another bone pile, sure. I'll go ahead and what this one has to grant me. Probably go on, after I'm done looking around this particular section, probably just go back to the camp and determine my results so I can also get rid of my materials that I'm hanging on, and I don't end up in another situation just like a while ago, where somehow I have too many material objects that I can't pick up anymore. Do have a troop member with us, which is nice. I guess it didn't die at all during that Puke hunt. There is a big mining thing here, but I can keep on mining it, I guess. Prosperous crystal. I don't even remember if if I've ever seen one of those before, but... Well, let's get out of here. Go to the camp. And let's turn in our stuff. Done. Didn't get any more streamstone type things, so oh well. Tons of research points at least. We got the master rank 61. First region level is still going up. Inaugural research has gone up. Hopefully we're able to get the the other it's a little bit higher. It's because we're trying to fight all the low-grade monsters first, and as I'm sure you've realized, a lot of the low-grade monsters are from the early game, which is the forest. But of course there's stuff from the other regions as well that we've been fighting, like we fought T-Rex, we fought... I might as well pop another one of these. I can fill up my stamina to full again. What else was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, we fought a few monsters in the Rotten Vale. We fought T-Rex, we fought Radovan. We fought, I want to say at least one more, but I don't remember what else it would have been. Yeah, we fought Great Gyros. That's actually the first big monster that we fought in this whole place. Forgot about that. So that counts as a Rotten Vale monster, and I think we fought a couple of Wild Spire monsters so far. Like, I guess we haven't fought Rathian yet, but we know that Rathian apparently counts as a Wild Spire monster. I've fought Kuluyaku, which I think does count as a Wild Spire monster. And I want to see at least one. I guess the Paolumu, yeah, the Nightshade Paolumu. The first time we fought that, it got away, but I think I'm pretty sure we were fighting that the first time in the Wild Spire, at least. I don't remember if the... No spoiler alert, I did refight it off screen and I actually managed to kill it, but I don't actually remember if that fight was here in the Wild Spire or not. Yes, I don't think it was. But beyond that, I think the only high-grade monsters, quote-unquote, your mileage may vary, but the ones that aren't like super low tier that we fought are pretty much Sinogre and Blue Rathalos and T-Rex. Other than that, I don't think we fought an awful lot. There we go. I'm pretty sure that monsters that you fight but don't actually finish fighting, that you don't capture or kill, don't quite count. I don't know if I'm gonna be finding any more of these gathering points here. It was a bit of a pain to find them in the Wild Spire, I think. And the oppressively bright sunlight, where you can even see the sun if you look up. It's completely hidden by the glare. Doesn't exactly, make matters easier. I'm pretty sure I'm about to basically have completed a whole lap of this place, which tells me that, yeah. This will go through these regions in order now. I've gone through the forest, we've gone through the Wild Spire, we'll go through the Coral Highlands area next. I think he's right over here, actually. Closer than... Maybe not that much closer. Not close, I guess, but... close enough. I don't think I've ever seen a gathering thing in this zone. Might as well take a look at this thing just to be sure of it. I'm pretty sure that's a no. Let's keep heading east. That's where we are going. And that's basically where we've already arrived at, I think. We are here at the transition place. Pretty sure I did grab a few things from this little introductory area a while ago when I was taking a break from chasing the Kulu-Yaku, I guess. Or not Kulu-Yaku, the Poogie Poogie. Taking a break from chasing that thing. For no real reason. Didn't remember. I have an actual time limit for, hunting things when I'm in expedition mode, so that's, I'm pretty sure, considerably tighter than the time limit you have when you're on an actual designated mission, which is 50 minutes, so... gotta be mindful of that. I don't think there's any gathering points down here, are there? I guess it would make sense for there to be something here, considering that apparently there is a mining spot that can appear in the other place where you can recruit the cats. I've never even actually fished down here, I don't think, but... I wonder if there's any unique fish that you can find down there. I would not be too surprised, I guess. Also, I completely missed this mining outcrop. Can't possibly let that stand after all. Alright, at this point all we need to do to finish clearing this region is head over here, check out the perimeter of this kind of a semicircle shaped area, and then there's a blue Rathalos, I just realized. I haven't finished tracking fully, so might as well try to do that before we leave. There's signs of a turf war. Oh yes, it sure is. Apparently we managed to get a Tsitsiaku summon. Right, I can't find anything else down here, so let's climb up. Very slowly, very deliberately, and then check the top side for these bone piles. Yeah, I want to say that this patch of bright moss looks like... oh shit, Bamro's here. Patch of bright moss looks like it should be a mining spot, but I know for a fact that it's not. That makes me sad. I wish mining spots were that easy to spot, being, that bright and red. They're not. Okay, I guess we pretty much cleared the Coral Highlands area, so let's quickly take a dip down into the underground, which should be right under here. We can go straight into the Rotten Vale area and clear out this area as well. Apparently Tigrex is down here right now. Apparently we don't even need to get any more T-Rex tracks because we already have full tracking on Tigrex. I'll just kind of wander around here for a while, but try not to draw his attention if we come across him. Oh, look at that, a bone pile. I'm gonna get interrupted by Raffinos this time, apparently, as I'm trying to gather from it. At least they attempted to, but they didn't quite succeed. So I got everything I wanted before they knocked me over. Neater. Maybe they'll succeed once I try to gather from this one, though. Maybe they just won't get up here quickly enough. Oh shit, okay. Slice it. Get a little bit sad even when I gather one of those super high research point items, even when it's not during an actual fight, just because I'm pretty sure that I can get, you know, actual materials from that. And I know research points are important, but come on, I have like 2.5 million of them at this point. It's a little bit more important to get, you know, materials at this point that I can use to make my build as OP as possible. And make the actually challenging part of the game, which is, you know, the hunt. And that much easier. Oh no. Let me guess, the freaking heroes are looking at me funny. Yep. Ooh, what do we got? Another one of the dragon things? No, well, it's a dragon vein coal chunk, which is not what I meant. What a region giant mining outcrops. But like right now. Or for future incursions into this place. I'm not quite sure what that pop-up means. Maybe it just means that for future incursions there will be giant mining outcrops. Oh, here's Tigrex. He never quite left this little narrow area. Bite marks, not a mining place, or did I already? I guess I already. No, never mind. Not exploited this mining place yet. Can't possibly let that stand. I am kind of curious if I go back to the camp and I just like. Not even back to the camp. That's the only reason I'm not going straight back to the camp as we speak is because I want to fill up my tracks for the couple of monsters that have apparently spawned currently that I do not have them filled up for. Rathalos and Sinogre. Guess I need as much Sinogre research as I can possibly accrue right now. Speaking of Sinogre, there's some tracks. Like freaking Rathalos is hanging around in you know, in this part of the map again. Seems to be quite a popular gathering spot for a lot of the monsters. At least the ones that hang out in the forest region. Just give me more. More tracking, more research bar points. it will not be enough. At least not until we manage to cap out everything. Which very well may happen considering how many fucking 100 hours I put into this game so far. Okay, there we go. Zenogre has been fully analyzed. Apparently decided he wanted to pick a fight, but I'm not all about that. I'm getting the fuck out of there. And, okay, I was wondering if the gathering spot that sometimes shows up back here was gonna be here, but I guess not. Where's this road? The Rathalos left. Okay, I'll never fucking mind. We're just gonna hang back for a few seconds until the fight decides to stop existing. And we go for a nice relaxing fishing session in the meantime. Let's go ahead and gather up some bomb arowanas or whatever else decides to bite. Do this all day until fucking Zenogre decides that he doesn't want to pick a fight anymore. But apparently it's not going to, which makes me sad. I guess there's only like 3 fish left in this one part of the pond. I guess it depends on which will happen first. Will Zenogre finally realize that we're not gonna fight it, or will we run out of fish to catch? Pretty sure I know the answer at this point, considering. Well, there's more over here, maybe like a couple more. Let's see, does platinum fish even bite normally? The answer is no. Don't ask me how I knew there was a platinum fish, I just have very good intuition and oh, just realized this thing just spawned, it was right next to me. A guiding forest crystal, massive crystal formed by the miraculous earthen energy. Right, let's pick up bait bug. I guess we have a couple of those. Hey, platinum fish, will you bite now? There it comes. It can't resist. Okay, yeah, it's becoming a little bit evident now that the fucking... Is that a different mining outcrop right there? Did it spawn after? Oh my god, it did. That's interesting. What are we gonna get from this? Guiding forest crystal. Huh. I guess that might be the same, like, super rare one that we got from the other outcrop just now. But yeah, I guess now we're getting the really materials from mining and mining and mining yet again. Right, let's just go. I'm gonna equip this just so I don't get cheap shotted while I'm just trying to run past this fucker. Okay, good. Let's teleport to our camp. I like how the fucking fight never stopped for the entire time we were there, and then all of a sudden decided to actually stop it. Right, let's report from the investigation and then return from it. Then that'll probably be it. Let me check something real quick over here. Yeah, there we go. Right, afflicted crimson bone. I don't even know if we had gotten anything like that before. Well, I know we're getting like a bunch of new materials just from the results screen. Giant mining outcrops have appeared in the rotten veil. It's nice. Apparently they have also appeared in the forest, but just didn't tell me about it. But we might as well have one final look at the Rotten Vale region and see if more mining outcrops have in fact appeared now. Hold on, let's check the map to see how quickly we can get down there. Oh yeah, I haven't left any of my items behind. Goodness. Let's see, is T-Rex still on the map? He is still on the map, yes. There he is, he's just like hovering over that one tunnel thing. Let's see, does this count as a giant mining outcrop? I have no idea how to tell different. I guess maybe it does. It's like when you first start looking for these gathering points, the mining outcrops just look like little things of crystal on the wall. Maybe that's a giant mining outcrop right here. It's like a guaranteed good material. Guiding a fluvial crystal. Well, that's definitely new, but I see that T-Rex is trying to pick a fight. That's not good. We're gonna give ourselves the immunity mantle, because I'm pretty sure that if you're wearing the immunity mantle in the Rotten Vale, that gives you immunity to the effluvium, so you lose health just from walking around here. Hold on. Is this well, yes, this is a bone pile. I guess these fuckers have to die. Hold on. Fucking birds. Hold on. There. Oh, didn't get him, but didn't quite want to die. It's from one head, I guess. There, you're dead. There. Now you're both dead. And, you know, Great Gyros is right here, but I guess he doesn't care. Oh, how do we got? Crystallized Silver Dragon Bone. Damn it. We have something else? That's, nope. Just another one of those. Well, I don't even feel compelled to carve these Raffinos, but I guess I will just out of obligation. The obligation, but there is no obligation that I have. Like I have no obligation to fuck it. This stupid vest point, but I definitely feel compelled to, because it's the right thing to do. Through all the crap that I just in the pool. Anything up here? There is, yes, a bone pile up here. I still haven't gotten any notifications about giant or rare bone piles, so I guess I must try even harder to gather up more and more of those. But I guess I found the one giant mining spot that spawns in the Vale after you get to a certain thing. Pretty sure that, based on the fact that we already mined one of those things that was that huge in the forest, we have to assume that, because the forest gathering points are also, you know, that high at this point. Let's go ahead and grab this already, which I guess we haven't already, and get the fuck out of here before T-Rex decides to pick a fight again. Which it did. Okay, can we mine this again? We can indeed mine this again. That's nice. And just like go in circles around certain areas and just keep mining it. That's actually good information. I can use that for grinding. But right now we need to get the fuck out of here. This isn't that bone pile, is it? Oh, it is. Shit. I hope I don't get interrupted while I'm trying to gather from here. The afflicted Frenzy one apparently isn't new. At least I'm forced to assume that it's not by the fact that I got no new description. Right, are we far enough away now that I can on myself as not being in combat anymore? There we go. Okay, let's actually end this for real this time. Just turn, like not even turn in our stuff, just pick the, go back to the base immediately. Didn't even get any new results from the Guiding Lands regions, but I guess we didn't really make that big of a difference. Let's see what we find when we get back to the base. That's something else that I'm actually curious about. Resource Center, Ecological, Mercian Ogre, which is something that I am glad about. Here, let's just go through the motions here. And, oh shit, we have something new here. What is it?
Got some good news.
Some knowledge to plop on you, as you kids say. You can your hands on materials from the Guiding Lands, I have indeed. You can now use the materials to meld more valuable decorations. Okay. Like what? Just meld decorations. This stuff. Actually not this stuff. Maybe she means the Wyverian ritual. This is just like the most generic as decorations. Not items, surely. I don't think there's even anything new that we haven't seen already. Because there's a Spirit Vein Slugbone. Same power as a Streamstone. Interesting. But apparently we don't have any of the stuff that we would use to meld that. Fragrant Poison Sac. Very rare Pookie material. Assassin Cutwing Nargaku material. Yeah, I forgot about that. The Guiding Lands materials start showing up here after you get them at least once. Very rare tempered Pookie material. God, so we're gonna have to get a bunch more. We're gonna have to fight not only the regular versions of those Master Rank monsters, but also the tempered versions of those Master Rank monsters in the Guiding Lands. What's this? Salt Stream, meld the Spirit Vein Slugbone with decorations into an ancient face stone. Or a carved face stone. Boy. Guess this is what she was talking about. Like, I'm pretty sure I never used the first Wyverian ritual to begin with to get streamstones, so. Or decorations. You consume streamstones to get decorations, so. I don't know if I'm actually gonna be bothering with that, but hey, we got new information on Sinogre. What could it be? We got rewards. Okay. Deathly Shocker if you break the back. Horn, Fulgur Bug. 4 legs and let's see. And the 4 legs. Because the horns don't count as separate from the head, the back and the tail, of course, which I guess you just can't separate with the hammer. We'll just go back to dual blades for a bit, but this thing's almost finished, but not quite. Let's do Resource Center and then probably just wrap things up here. Aren't we told that we're... Hold on, we got the materials for this delivery? Oh yeah, we do. Okay, Prosperous Crystal and Dragon Vein for the other camp. Let's go ahead and do that. We did it. We didn't get an achievement for that, which kind of leads me to believe that there's probably at least one more camp that we can open in the Guiding Lands, but... Tempered Monster Hunt, yes. Small monster killing too. Well, there we go. Managed to complete another camp. Let's take a quick look at the smithy, I guess. Just to check.
Oi, oi.
Do we have anything at all new here from the new materials that we've gathered? Or not? I don't see anything new right off the bat. What if we go to our charms, like the attack charm? Do we know what any of the materials for upgrading a bunch of these are going to be? I guess not yet. That's actually pretty surprising. I guess we're gonna have to fight so many more of the monsters in the guiding lands. It's not been funny. Breaker charm, wow. Look at that. We don't even know any of the materials for getting that up to max. What about the one that's for like awakening? It's the one I think I might be most anxious to max out, and no, we still don't know any of the materials for this. That's unfortunate. We don't get the materials, and the guiding lands materials listed in the Hunter's Field Guide, do we? Like for example, for Boogie Boogie, which we just killed in the Master thing in the guiding lands with, and even the tempered version. I'm pretty sure that the stuff that we get from the guiding lands isn't even listed here, so I guess we can just... I guess to look at that we're gonna have to look at the Elder Elders list. That's a little weird, but hey, I guess it's technically there is an option, but I think that's where we're gonna be leaving it for today. It was, I guess, relatively short stream after all. 3 hours is on the short side for my streams, but yeah. Well, my plan was to start stream a little bit earlier and do just do the Yian Garuga hunt and then do Paper Mario for the rest of the stream, but I ended up taking too long to get the stream started because I was, actually forcing myself to be productive with other things, which is, well, it's nice that I at least got that done for today, but I have to keep that up, hopefully to have a reasonable pace for the rest of the week at least. Well, for the rest of the few weeks that are coming in the future, I think, but anyway. Rather than just keep on rambling about that, I can just go ahead and end this, like I keep telling myself I'm going to, and actually, yeah, let's accomplish that. So, let's be in our usual position of lying in the snow. I mean, we do have armor legs that are like some of the best in the game. As it stands right now, they're the Ishvalda legs, as I said. Pretty sure they have the highest base defense of any of the armor sets that I have access to at the moment, so that's nice. And there's Poogie back there, and actually if you pay attention when he's in this area and he's got that costume on, it's like a thing of snot that keeps sniffing around, it keeps going in and out of his nose. That's attention to detail right there. And once again I'm standing in this cat's way, and I'm not gonna move, so... But yeah, that's gonna be our stream for the day. Don't know if I'm gonna be trying to come back tomorrow with something else, but I probably will. And on the weekend, I probably will be able to get something. I might not stream on Saturday, because there might be an event on Saturday that would very much eat into pretty much all the stream time that I would not be wanting to miss, but I probably will be streaming on Friday at least, and I'll try to stream tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. Hopefully it goes well, but as for right now, let me just say, you'll take it easy. Thank you everybody for coming like always. Thanks for chatting. Yeah, I guess. Always great whenever people chat. And if you would stick around for just a moment longer, I'm gonna do what I sometimes do. Not usually on Tuesdays, usually on Fridays and Saturdays. But we're gonna be raiding Kevin K, who is currently playing the Switch remake of Link's Awakening, I believe. He's a pretty chill guy, pretty cool streams. See you next Kiana Slave Time. Oh, I couldn't have said that better myself. But yes. I will be doing that. And I guess that's pretty much it, so I will see you later.